All right, man. Let's get rolling for real because like my dick isn't getting any harder. You know what I mean? So
What's up, you guys? Got some tales for y'all. I'm Heber,
Jhordy?
it's your boy Lil Scopic, aka Jakil, aka Miguel, your host today.
and we're gonna be talking about self doubt and how to overcome that, and turn that into confidence. But yeah, we're gonna talk a lot of different ideas about self doubt. Before this, we sparked up a few little tangents, but
Damn, I forgot to say
Chris
we got
Chris
some
is
tales for
the
y'all.
Chris is the one who for Chris is the one. Whoa, man.
We came up this as a group, right? As a collective, you know?
Yeah.
And
Oh,
yeah, okay, so basically, I was watching this podcast, and it's the son of Don Miguel Ruiz. He's the 13th child,
Yeah.
and he wrote a book called Self Mastery. He went on an interview. Not sure who the interviewer was, but he talked about the interviewer asked him, "What do you believe holds the person back on becoming the version or just who they want to be?" And his answers right away was self doubt, and he correlated this with the ego, but he talked about when when the person doesn't have faith in himself, it's almost like you can't do anything with when that self doubt arises. And they were trying to figure out where it comes from, or the interviewer, and they talked about the beliefs, basically the agreements they make with themselves on on their belief system. Oh my bad, the beliefs that they have themselves on if they can do anything. So when I was listening to that, it made me think about because then okay, let me go a little bit real quick. Okay, not you. What are you guys' thoughts on self belief on self doubt? Because I was gonna go way off, but
So self doubt's a tricky one, right? Because most people that are, I definitely see how self doubt can be one of the worst things for somebody and some of the best things for other people if you just know how to use it with caution and with wiseness, if that makes sense. So self doubt, man, is that sense that like
wait,
you think
what do you
about.
mean
No,
by
no, no,
that?
no, I'm talking, bitch. I'm talking. It's my turn.
What do you
What's
mean
it
by that?
called? So with self
What do you
doubt,
mean?
what's it called? So basically, you think about it in retrospect, and it really makes you like think like, oh shit, you can learn from self doubtness, and you really be thinking about it that in retrospect, you be like, oh shit, But sometimes you gotta think about it too. It really ain't that big of a deal. Sometimes, so you really like gather bits and pieces from self doubt and you add it to your personality and your like learning skills and everything. And like sometimes it helps you out. However, self doubt also hurts people because they don't realize that they can use that to their advantage. What'll kill you will make you stronger, and that goes for self doubt as well, type shit. And so, yeah, bro, it's crazy shit, man, crazy. But yeah, man. What about you, Heber? What do you think about self doubt, man? It's a good question, Chris. Appreciate that.
it's a good question. Yeah. Well, I guess the thoughts that usually come up when thinking about self doubt is I wouldn't say I have much of it for like my I guess my what I want to do in life. I guess like but so I'm trying to really think of an area where I do have self doubt. But another thing that this makes me think about is like I guess resilience. I guess because it's like about well, partly resilience. Because yeah, when I guess when you're being so doubtful of like what you think you're, but I did hear recently that self doubt is like something that it's always gonna come, every now and then, for anyone, usually, and so everybody is going to have to deal with some level of this. It's really, and so I mentioned resilience because it's about pushing through those periods, because those periods are going to come, is what the whatever the fuck I was listening to earlier said. um but yeah, that's what that those that's a
When you
Right,
say
and so you fund the resilience with what you realize after you encountered an experience of having self doubt
No,
in
I
yourself?
mean it's just resilience is its own topic. I would say it's not about like fueling or whatever. I guess I wasn't trying to portray that idea, but just the idea of resilience. I guess to go further on that is like it's just like each time you push more, it's like um it grows. This I can't put it. I guess because I remember like I literally thought like 2 days ago because like last week I like read like a paper on it and then I remember 2 days ago I was like wow I can't remember a single thing from that paper but it inspired me so much but and so now I'm like can't say shit about it but yeah it's there's a lot that goes into it or there's just a lot of different components I would say.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Are you talking about resilience as
Just
in like once you keep doing it like are you talking about like the thing you can't
it's just
think about?
pushing like keep going
Yeah, once you do it, you keep doing it.
hmm
Is that what you're on about?
Yeah, yeah, because like I mentioned, it's like these periods of self doubt are going to come earlier. It's like they're going to come at some point, and it's like it's about getting through that. I guess for me right now, is like the idea is like it's just about getting through that, and that's like self
How do
resilience,
you, how do you personally get through it?
resilience, right? And but that's broad, right? But like I was trying to mention earlier, I can't think of a situation of self. Maybe that's just because I'm not in a state of self doubt right now. Obviously, when it comes, it'll be so abundantly clear to me that I'm doubtful of myself. But
I
I've definitely thought lately that I'm not doubtful of like any of you know.
maybe this can be spewed an idea of you. So okay,
Yeah.
so I was this topic I feel I often bring up
Yeah.
in different title forms.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So
because it can be different. Yeah, yeah.
so it's something that I constantly go through like all the time. So when
What
self
are some
doubt,
examples? Because I really don't know, bro.
so okay,
I think you'll.
so
Like I mean titles.
no. I'm just talking about that's something else. I'm just talking
I'm
about
trying to think, but
I've just I've just changed the way I say it, but it all correlates back to not having that much confidence in myself. So
okay.
when I tackle that, it's like oh self doubt or like lack of self love. It's just like different ways to say it.
For
So
sure.
this is just me understanding a different point of view. But to give an example, say I have okay. I often think that I'm unable to make a lot of things, and it's just really myself, just this expectation that I put on myself, and if I don't reach it, then I'm like, bro, I'm never gonna do that again, you know. So it's almost like living up to this image I've made of myself that I can't even express. I don't really know what that exists.
Yeah, yeah.
So a way for me to get through that is recently when I watched that podcast, he really talked about how he correlated the ego to an idea of yourself. And the interview asked him, "Well, what is an ego?" And he just responded, "Don Maurice, like myself, Don Maurice, Don Miguel Maurice Jr."
Right.
And it's those expectations. And to him, think about okay, you grab that part of yourself and you just really look at it. That's just a person you live with every day, but is that really you? So you can like that's the cap, that's your cap, that's me. Then I grab it. Now I'm like, I can put this away, and I don't have to go by that. So once that's pushed away and acknowledged, I feel that in a sense, like I can do anything now because I'm not putting myself up to those expectations. So
Interesting.
yeah, it really becomes that. I'm like, okay, bet, and I just keep going into a way I want to go. Like, oh, this is
Hmm.
actually what I wanted.
Okay.
So it's like basically, oh, what if I don't meet these expectations of myself? And I'm like, bro, you tripping? Then it just goes back and back.
Especially when you already have a plan to go. I don't know if you've ever felt like this ever in your life, right? But like maybe as a kid, like oh shit, first party, or oh shit, first day of school, like whatever, right? Like oh shit, I'm gonna go into there and act like this, and then I come out the end of the day like fuck, I didn't do that. You know what I mean? And
Too
so like
true.
that definitely ties into what you're talking about, and it's just kind of like
Okay.
fuck, and that's like self-doubt because you really believed, or you had enough like confidence in yourself to go into it and be like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, and then you come out, you're like, bro, why did I do that?
Oh, what?
And then
Yeah. I can think of very like recent events. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do that and do this and that. I can
that's why,
see it in
bro,
my head.
I think self-doubt wouldn't exist if we knew exactly when we were gonna die, because then we could realize, oh, you know what, I'm I know exactly when I'm gonna die, and I know that, you know what I mean? Because the fact that we don't know when we're gonna die makes us like, I don't know, like I feel like if we
I
knew,
guess.
especially if you have a really short lifespan and you realize you don't have much to live, you're gonna be like, bro, fuck it, I'm gonna act like this, and ain't no question, because like self doubt really ties into the fear of rejection and the fear of
Yeah, but
like,
yeah,
all that
I
bullshit,
get
and
you.
so
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
it's
taking.
like real shit, bro.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a.
yes, yeah. I
Yeah,
completely agree.
yeah. I'd say it's really tied into part of the human experience, and taking any part of the human experience out would clearly like change this a lot, or affect this idea, right?
No, for real, man. No icing on the cake, just cake. You know what I'm saying?
So, do you guys feel that because okay, he was talking about that no real because you were talking about how you pretty much know what you like to do.
Yeah,
So is it
and
basically
I'm
you?
pretty confident that, huh?
So you're basically just comfortable like this is who I am.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah, I feel that
pretty.
that's still like something I'm working with, and that's barely
But well,
like
it ties into why do you think that is? Is it because of like
it's probably like
is it
and
perception? Is perception
yeah
part of
yeah
it? Really? Okay.
perception like yeah how Miguel was saying like fear of rejection,
Oh, okay.
how people are gonna perceive me. Like then I'm like this shit don't even fucking matter. Like I didn't even
Right?
do
Like you're not missing out on anything. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
this. I can hear other people talk about it. And I'm like, bro, if you just it's like it's crazy
Well, I
how
guess.
it's not
Hmm.
like it's not crazy, just how simple the advice just being yourself.
Yeah.
That's like the most
So you know how you were
useful.
talking about this like this higher the like what you want to achieve, right? And it's like I guess in my head it's like even if I'm not achieving that right now, or like maybe if like sometimes I get there but sometimes I'm like not always there achieving that. It's like if even if I'm not achieving that in my head, I'm like I'll get better. I'll get better, I'm always like I'll get better. It's like it's an obvious thing to me that I'll get better, because it's like just like my entire life, it's always like the pinnacle. It's like growth. It's like I guess it's always been a big thing like that I cared about. And so it's like
Absolutely.
I never, I remember after my second acid trip, it was like, oh, I don't need to worry about growth anymore. It's just always gonna be there. Like,
Mhm.
You cannot
Yeah,
control
but it's
growth. I
still
mean,
like
you
it's
can
still,
control your growth, but there's a lot of growth,
and
and
so
you just
that's
have to
why
let it happen.
I'm always like I'll get better. I'll get better.
There's no way you're gonna not grow in life if you happen to live through it. Like, even if you do the same shit every single day, you're still gonna grow in some form or fashion. Now, it's physically growing is one thing, especially horizontally, but also like fucking, growing like mentally and spiritually and emotionally and all these other areas of our lives that we have to grow in. It's not all about physical, you know what I'm saying? You only grow two ways up
Mm.
or horizontally in this lifetime, you know what I mean? But it's really what happens in here that really is the real, meat and potatoes, if you know what I'm saying. So, yeah, man, I agree with that, man. Definitely, 100%. That's some sweet stuff with pudding. You know what I'm saying?
I think I guess one I guess good example that I just thought of when it comes to self doubt was and like I just mentioned, typically I'm like like, oh, I get better, and that's really how I've been, even because I thought about like my I guess my quote unquote journey with like growing with my social habits, and like just social things in general, right? And it's like, sure, obviously you get better at some things, and like that progression stays, right? But it's like I feel like for me it's like I viewed a trajectory where I was going up, and then like I'm going back down, and it's like even though I'm like at this down state, it's like I know I'll get, like, even though I've been higher up before, it's like I know I'll get back up there, like it's It's obvious to me. But it's like previously, I get there were times where it's like shit got like really doubtful. But that's really only in times where like the emotions are like super heavy. I'd say, and about the topic, and it's like that's when I feel like the most self doubt when
Interesting.
the emotions are super
Because
heavy.
I think it's also really important to remember that we're not always constantly doubting ourselves. We have to focus on things that we truly feel strong about ourselves, and remember that we have those attributes that help us be who we are today, and not always focus on the negative side of ourselves and what happens to dampen ourselves and avoiding self doubt. You know what I mean? Because no one wants to doubt themselves. What the fuck? Like you're the
Right.
only person you
Yeah.
truly know. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like it
And
was hard
so
for me to think of like a situation where I doubted myself. Honestly.
self-doubt is one of those epidemics that like happen to be the things that we have to like fucking like conquer to know our true selves. And I think that's like every lesson every human being has to learn type shit in this lifetime, dude. Like it's not just you, me, and Chris, dude. It's everybody in this world, because at the end of the day we all are on this planet, you know what I mean? And we all know a thing or two that we all have. Everybody knows a thing or two that we all equally know
What's
if you
that?
live on earth.
I just thought of another time where
And
like
one of the things happen to be what causes self doubt. So proceed.
I remember another time where like self doubt was like at an all time high. I would say it was like
Oh, what'd you say?
it was basically like it was the point where like it was like a super existential moment where I was like, okay, I need to get rid of it, like all instant gratification out of my life, or else my life isn't going to be the life I want to have, right?
Yeah.
And like, and I just stood there for a while, and I was like, I was, I was like, I was
I
drunk.
totally get that, man. Like
It's
it's so
crazy. Like,
fucking brand new.
because you can do anything, bro.
Yeah, but
That's overwhelming. Like I was like, that's incredible. I
but
was
but
It's
like,
the
like
holy
but the
it's like
thing
an epiphany time on crack, bro.
but the thing, the self doubt came in was because at that point in my life, so much of my life was instant gratification, and so it's like, yo, massive self doubt came upon me, because it's
Like
like
I like you then. Like
like yo,
nice.
this is like, I'm like, this is a lot, and I
Yeah.
truly didn't know if I was gonna be able to do it, like if
Mhm.
and obviously it's like something that you work on always,
What do you mean not
but
be able to do it? Like be able to
no,
like
look,
conquer it?
yeah, because the idea in my head was so like fucking crazy. It was like eliminated. Oh, but
get it
yeah.
off.
And so every time I would choose instant gratification, I got shot in the head with like self hatred type shit.
Yeah, yeah. Because like sometimes I'll be on. Like, I just use social media. I'm like, not be on that mug. But I don't really want to be on that mug. Then it's like, why the fuck am I on this? I don't even care about this shit.
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah,
on that habit. I'm like, oh, this is. And you're.
yeah. That's how it got with TikTok. So I was like, it's over. And but
Yeah.
like I try like.
How do you think you could like say fuck you to that and not do that as much full
What
time?
I mean, it's really about growth. I mean,
Yeah,
it's hard to
yeah,
say that, but like, just
like
focus on
what
it.
I yeah, and really trying to see where you're focusing your energy at.
Yeah,
Like
focus on growth.
so much fucking time on things I don't care about. Then I'm like, bro, you don't give a fuck about this, and you can let it go, and you're not gonna die without it. So you just grab it and just place it somewhere else. I'm like, oh, this is actually what I want, rather than like, oh, I have to have this in my life,
Yeah,
but really
yeah. I
doing
think.
what I want to, rather than, oh my god, I should do this. Like,
Yeah, I think making a habit of like thinking about how you want to grow. I guess because for me, like literally every morning, like the start of work is me thinking, okay, how am I gonna get better? Like straight up, it's like I start rolling through ideas of how can I do better? Like okay, what things can I work on? Because it's like what things can I work on mentally? But it's like it's also physical. It's attached to physical ideas. I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm like, what can I like step up with? And I go through like my whole life every morning, just scouring through, and I'm like, okay, let's see. And obviously, thoughts just come at you. So it's like it's not, you don't get to pick whatever comes at you, but it's like but it's just growth in something. Like, but yeah,
but sometimes when you okay, because that happens to me like on the daily.
yeah, right.
Plus, I wake up and I'm just bombarded by my whole life, and I think about like this is ridiculous, and It's always becoming self-aware about the thoughts that are really pinning me down and thinking about how much, just how unrealistic the self-doubt is, just how much self-hatred one can have, and not just allow it to come in, and not really like when someone passes you, just you don't really have to always pay attention to them because honestly in life you don't really pay attention to a lot of shit, but the thoughts in your
Yeah.
head, I was thinking of like treating treating the the I guess intrusive thoughts as like people when they come
Yeah.
to me, like who the fuck is this, right? And to hear them out, like okay, then you just move past and just keep going.
And it's
But
almost like having like like almost like ying faith in a sense. Like whatever goes on tonight in the event will happen because that's the way it was supposed to happen. If I didn't, for example, say I'm trying to go to a party and I'm trying to get with this many bitches and I only happen to get with 2 instead of 10, it's like, listen, dog, you know what? You only hooked up with 2 out of 10 because that's the way it was supposed to be. Because 10 girls would have been too many, or you know what I mean? And so it's just like
Right.
that's just life sometimes, you know. I
But
believe faith can sometimes help aid that the self-doubt mindset and relieving some of those, like, hey, you know, maybe this was all it's supposed to be. And then like in 5 years, if you see yourself not complaining about that situation, then hey, maybe that's how it's supposed to be, because maybe you could have been in a lot worse situation if you didn't doubt yourself in that moment. So sometimes it's a protect, it's
all
a
right, that's
form of like
now we're going
protection. But it's
into.
but listen to me, it's hypothetical, but it's definitely a way of thinking positive. It's definitely in the right direction if you're trying to get over that shit. And I mean, I find that it helps with many people. Just saying.
I'm like, so how do you
I'm
get
not a
over
therapist,
it?
but I could be for you, baby girl.
so
Anyways,
okay, so in y'all's opinion, when do y'all believe y'all have extinguished this self-doubts? Because you said it's always gonna be there, right?
Oh, you got to constantly be working on it, I think.
okay.
Well, maybe that's.
Sometimes
I don't think so.
because like
Unless you deal with it every day.
but sometimes it doesn't even come up once you
Right.
work, once you build
Okay.
that foundation and really
Okay.
like, oh, it doesn't even penetrate me anymore. So when do you feel that you've gotten to that point?
I feel like it
When I
has to
realized I
do.
didn't get the events I wanted to come out of it.
No, I feel like maybe okay. Well, with because I'm still like attaching this to the idea of like like what you want to achieve in terms of like how you want to be, I guess. But and so I'm thinking like okay, well, habit building would be a large part of that. But Miguel's talking about this party though. I don't know.
I am.
He's like,
Oh yeah. 2 girls out of 10. Yeah.
2 girls out of 10. I'm like, man, that's a
That
lot of
sucks
girls.
because if you got a lot of spunk in you and you only hit
I'm
2
not-
girls out of 10, like bro, you got to jerk off about 8 more times afterwards. You know what I mean?
I'm like, bro,
It's like
that's 10 more than I'm
fuck.
asking for, bro. Like,
Sex feels good, dog. Look at
this
that.
guy.
But nah. And so, yeah, man, that's just definitely something that that shit really. I think at the end of the day, positive thinking is the best way to go. Just thinking positively, and at the end of the day, if you're always thinking positive about, say, I think you could do it in little like homework assignments. 15-minute, I'm still talking, bitch. Look at us. What's it called? Like just literally sitting down and just thinking about one good thing you did today.
That's
Oh,
a
okay,
bit,
cool. You know what? I
that's
did
a
hold
bit
the door
lame,
for
honestly.
somebody for like half a second more than I would normally would have.
All right,
Okay,
but this is a lame idea.
good
I'm gonna
job.
be honest.
And so, just think positive, and I think that's the great place to start because some people are genuinely at the bottom of the bottom, of the barrel,
Damn, bro, you don't gotta keep
scraping the
pushing this,
barrel.
bro. Like,
Bro, I just got a thing or two to say, man. You know what? Why not, man? If I got the ability, I got the power for the time
I'm
being.
saying,
I
like,
see
bro,
your hand, bro. You can go
like
to the
that's
restroom in
like
5 minutes. Give me a second. Look at that.
that's so
So
funny.
yeah, man. Think positive. Cheers. All right. Yes.
I feel that can become toxic positivity,
How
and
so?
You're toxic, Miguel.
is thinking that because I've been in that, like, you know
Soy tu
what?
tóxico,
Because
baby girl.
the instant thought was like, no, okay, because I feel that it can ignore the reality of what you live in, and I feel that once you actually step into your own shoes and really come into reality, if you're fucked up and like miserable, you have to really take responsibility of your life.
You ever heard of fake it till you make it?
Yeah, you gotta take responsibility.
And I think that's where you're at looking at. No, but some real shit. I think. I
This is
think
life, homie. Sometimes fake it till you
life.
make it is the only way to make it.
But you had to say you fake it till you
You're
make.
speaking about one kind of group of people, and I'm speaking about one kind of group of people. So we're both not wrong, but we're both not right about certain other groups of people that we ain't talking about. So let's listen to Heber, and let's
I,
guess what, Heber, you're
because
also wrong and not right, and not right, not wrong either. So let's get a fourth motherfucking. Let's look at that. What's up?
because that's a very real thing, and I know it's a very real thing because I did it to myself a lot of the time.
Alright,
I
I
would
fucked up, y'all. I only get 2 more tries.
I would live in this own world I created for myself,
Yeah.
and I will have my idea of the world versus what's actually true. And this always happened to me when I actually became the president. It always became very overwhelming, and that's when I read The Power of Now. That book, like my whole life became super overwhelming. Like it made me like, in a sense, break down and really look at myself, and really being in reality and coming to terms of what each is and how I actually want my life. And it's only like till recently I really had to, because I can only truly control what's in me. And like I always like how he's like, I can only control to the tips of my fingers. And I really like how he said that. And I keep repeating that because I really had to, in a sense, like conquer myself. Not conquer, I guess it's the only word that came to mind, but really trying to get to know myself and really really on forth on myself and truly see what the fuck is my life rather than this is gonna work out always, because I can say that and there's a path, but that's just life.
Yeah. You're right.
I don't fuck with toxic positivity because I did it all the time.
I respect that, man. And you know what? Hear me out real quick.
I respect you, so you can do that if you want to.
I cherish that
But leave
about
me out,
you. You know,
imagine.
that you happen to approach it in that manner, and so it's lit. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, man. Listen to him about
I don't know.
that.
So what's toxic positivity?
Because if mine don't work, then his maybe could. All right, so Heber, what is your definition of negative positivity?
Bro, chill. I don't even know what the fuck bro, what the fuck?
You just brought it up.
You just made
Imagine.
up a word,
All right,
bro.
enough about that shit. Before I say something that could get me canceled. Anyways, look at that. So let me start talking about canceled, bruh.
But
So
but
look,
but
cancel culture.
he
Anybody?
often talks about, because he often just always brought up. I'm talking about Don Miguel Ruiz Jr. How when he took off his mask, you become absolutely nobody. You're really
Oh,
nobody
but it.
when you take off the mask and when you actually see yourself who you are as just another human being amongst the crowd. It's like you can really become water, and there's no, because I was thinking about it and I was having those existential questions of who am I was in the truck with my mom. I was driving. I was just thinking like, who am I? Then it just like nothing comes. So I noticed that every
Nothing
thought.
can?
No, I was like, really, like, say who am I? Then it was like, yeah, sure, myself came up. Like this is what I know my whole life.
Okay.
Jhordy, Chris, right? Is that what I want to be, or is that what I just
I
given?
I would, because if I were to ask myself, I would just attach all the things that are attached to me that are value that create value essentially. You know. So it's
Yeah, yeah. Okay. And that's exactly what I did. Because I was like, because I'm saying I'm nobody, because I can be whatever I want to be, rather than like
right.
I have not like I'm nothing. Man.
Yeah,
I'm
because that's how meaning was described. Basically, it's like being like what just having things attached to you that give value.
mm. So I was like, I am formless. I am nobody. I put on this mask and I put my name out. Put my name out. But who is that? I mean, I don't even know. I know his story, but really, who is that? What have I actually done rather than the ideas I have in my head? Allowing myself to be who I am, but who really am I? What do I like the most? I feel the most connected to this body whenever I do art, whenever I'm connecting to other people. So that was like the principles. Like I feel most myself whenever I'm doing art. Basically, just like what do I actually want to do, and I actually go forth with that rather than have other people's expectations put onto me and this life that I've been given. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Type shit. Yeah, that's honestly I wanted to
But
say
yeah,
about.
that I mean, yeah, that goes into the meaning of meaning in life, you know, like typically like to for people to feel like they have like they have a meaning or their meanings in life, I guess, or like, you know, the thing that makes them fulfilled essentially, it's like it's just, you know, like I said, being connected to something outside of yourself that gives value, and so it's like that's typically creation, you know. I would say. I try to think of something that's not, but it's like, you know,
That's
because
all.
but I'd say another person said it's like creation and self improvement, and I'm like I can see like self improve because self improvement does bring fulfillment a lot, you know. So it's like it makes sense, you know. So it's like but
On this journey of because I remember this is bringing back like 20 minutes ago. But you were talking about how you was just saying, "Oh, I'm gonna just get better. I'm gonna get better. I'm gonna keep getting better." So that negative thoughts wouldn't really occur to you on like self doubt. Don't because like there's always the saying like don't forget to smell the roses when
yeah,
you're when yeah,
definitely.
yeah. So
Yeah.
to oh, fuck me,
No,
hold
I
up.
get what you're saying though. Like
No, but like, cause I think about like, okay, we mustn't forget the life we're actually in, the intensity of like the shit we're doing right now.
all
Like,
right.
like we're in a podcast right now, bro. Like, like to really like get into it and like if you really get into it, that the things like this that we've been doing, that the outcome is just like, oh, here's the podcast, here's another episode. But then, like when the moment comes, it's basically like what you, in a sense, been training for. And once you're actually there, you should actually like. I'm just talking about myself, like talking to myself. Basically, it's like really perform whenever the opportunity comes to you because you've been basically going for it. But when it's actually there, perform. You know, like it's my time. It's my time, and I've gone. I've
Yeah,
been.
I get well because this is so analogous to how YouTube content creators their growth goes, you know, because typically or typically if you're a content creator that's not that isn't successful from blowing up basically, so you just like you rode the way you just grinded basically, so so doing that will so it'll put you in a position where you basically would just have to keep going and you might not see results or like you might not see like YouTube results and numbers, but like you have to keep going and like obviously, you know, doing better and stuff, but like and trying to be innovative, right? But yeah, and then there's like you said like being ready to perform essentially. It's like now that these people have like gotten so much experience, I guess, you know, bettering themselves, and like it's like, oh, now they're like a super good channel, right? Yeah, and so it's like, oh, now it's like growth is bound to come because it's like so good that they can't see you, right? Or like it's just so good that you can't ignore them, right?
Mhm.
And so it's about just that's when you're ready to perform, is once you're at that level of so good that they can't ignore you.
But I feel like every moment I feel like it should be every moment because if you're constantly training for it, and some people,
Oh
because
yeah.
I've been thinking about like, okay, so some people, okay, because he used the analogy of running, and he runs marathons. Don McGraw, I'm gonna bring this full up because this is the guy I listen to very recently, and he will run, and some people would dread training for the event, like, oh fuck, this is the. I remember going to the gym, and the people were like, oh, this is the worst part of the day when they go to the gym. But like I've been enjoying it. Like really, I've been really into whatever the fuck I've been doing. So it's to always. I'm talking about like always enjoying because you're talking. Maybe
Oh
this is
yeah.
not you. correlating
Mm.
to like performing, but you have to enjoy, try your best to enjoy the entire process.
Oh, okay.
Because when you're at the marathon to run it, it's my time. That's what I'm trying to say.
Is that by Usain Bolt?
I don't know.
Jesus Christ! Imagine if we had
But
a TV show, y'all.
basically, self doubt.
Anyways,
Back to this
Self,
self doubt shit. Imagine.
are we, dude? This,
basic,
oh my god,
basically,
bro!
self doubt is eliminated.
There's gonna be one bullet point this segment.
Self doubt is eliminated when the person can fully, and how I really like how you put it. Self doubt is eliminated when self mastery is just completely having unconditional love for oneself. So it's full belief in oneself. So self doubt wouldn't arise. And I forgot to put that in when I asked you guys, when do you guys think self doubt would stop happening? I forgot to say that, so I'm just saying that.
No, you said
Maybe
it.
this part we can cut out into like another.
But I thought it was, do you know, the habit building, like once you've built those habits. But that's just one, like, I yeah. But
Sorry, guys.
fucking know.
It was
But
just on my mind.
Miguel, if you don't have anything, we can move on.
Last night I was cleaning my room with headphones on, but that's a rare occurrence. You know what I'm saying?
Cleaning your room?
Yeah. And so it's just a rare occurrence. But maybe that's just me.
Yeah, when you were talking about taking a response, when you gotta take response. I know it's like a small moment where you said this, where it's like you gotta take responsibility of yourself or whatever.
Yeah.
What's it called? I just felt like I feel like maybe I need to hear that from somebody at a certain point, maybe like a month or two ago. I don't
Yeah, I
know.
got my knuckles on. What you want to do, bro?
But it's like,
Looking
and
ass.
so it's interesting because I thought about it because I was
What you
like,
wanna do, bro? Look at
I've
that.
never been one to. I guess I've never found myself in a situation where to be that guy where I'm like, yeah, I needed that, you know, like, but like type shit.
I
You
need
know?
water, bro. I'll be
Like
right
just
back.
an encouragement type shit.
He's gonna get water.
I
Oh
hate to
yeah,
break
I
it.
know.
Yeah, 'cause, like, so to hop back on that. That's been a thing because I often think about like lacking self discipline, and I'm like, okay, bro, like you really think about how much shit you think who you are and how much things you want to create. But like I gotta think about this as like a lifestyle. Like I really gotta get the fuck on. Like I gotta get on this. Like this is like I'm holding myself back on who I'm trying to be. So I'm like, I need to do my shit. Like I need to. Cause I've just been like making a lot of stuff that I want to. Like actually trying. So I've been like, oh, bro, I've been editing, but I just been constantly editing. Like that's what I want to do. So like I gotta take responsibility. Like, bro, you need to get the fuck off the gram. Like that shit don't even matter right now. Like this is what matters more. But like off of like just artwork is like what I want, like at home, like who I generally want to be more of at home, how I want my relationships to be in my life. Like, let me put myself really into it rather than just like think about it. Like, oh yeah, I'm getting better, but like I need to make that I those dreams I have in my head a reality. And really take responsibility for my life.
Yeah, no, I brought that up because it instantly made me think of like the last time I took acid because it was
So,
like oh sorry.
my bad.
Yeah, because it was like I took it at a point where it was like I was like in a very depressive state, I'd say, you know. Obviously it's not like, you know, depression to me is like it's complicated to describe it. I'm not going to describe it, but basically but basically, you know, I very early on in the trip, like I was just like, damn fool. Like I was like, damn, I gotta clean up for this fool, like you know, like
Uh,
uh, uh,
damn, bro, you piece yourself apart like that? I do that shit all the time. Like, damn, really, you did that today? Like, he did that today, man.
but Yeah, I was just it just made me like kind of like I don't know, just it obviously since I was like tripping, it put a lot of emphasis on the fact that I was in a fucking terrible state, you know. But but yeah, trip was fine though. I know how to maneuver these things, you know.
Dude, I feel like I would come out a whole different being if I took that thing, bro.
Okay.
Like a whole different entity. I feel like I'll be having 3 more podcasts, you know? Who knows?
That's lit, man. That's how I feel about weed and alcohol. Not about that other shit. But yeah, acid has its place for sure. But we're not gonna talk about that today.
Type shit.
No, that type of shit gets you canceled. Imagine.
Let's go canceled.
Nice, dog.
Nah, but I don't think acid will get you canceled. Hope not, at least. Come on, guys, it's a plant. Imagine. It comes from a ergot. Imagine. But
okay.
But no. But Miguel, you wanted to talk about cancel culture.
Yeah.
Like you really wanted to talk.
Well, I mean, I'll talk about it. You know what I'm saying? So like, what's it called, man? Like, so
Miguel's gonna talk about it.
This is when the podcast gets good. Watch.
Nah, looking at so hear me out, right? So, cancel culture. Some of it know it as like it's hip hop related. Some people know it as just Twitch stream related.
Nah, dude, it's really,
Some people know it as YouTube related. Listen, I'm talking, bitch. I got the light on me of the spot. You know what I'm saying? I was like at you. So I think of it. I've always thought of it like that personally. You know, it was always through the internet.
Like which one?
Right.
Like UFC.
And so recently, I asked a coworker that I work with, and he was like, I asked him. First off, I asked him. I was like, "What you think about cancel culture?" Because we always talk about philosophical shit, and he's always giving me like ideas for the podcast too. You know, like he's a pretty cool cat. And so,
get on. What's his name? Shout him out.
I ain't gonna do that, bro, because his name is so unique. Everyone's gonna know who he is, bro. I've only met one fool with this name, and like I'm gonna keep it at that. You know what I'm saying?
Is this guy not cool or something?
Nah,
I'm sorry. I'll put too much spotlight on this. My bad, bro. Let me shut the fuck.
You're good, bro. Anyways, so I asked him, I was like, "Hey, bro, what you think about cancel culture?" And he was like, "Hey, bro, what's it called?" So my wife, you know, she used to work in a law firm, like, et cetera, et cetera. She used to do certain like jobs and shit, and like she'd be told on the phone, like, "Hey, you know what I'm saying, like." This and that and the third, and it was just words that you shouldn't be saying over the phone. And, you know what I'm saying, like work related shit, like boss to employee type shit. You know, and
Yeah.
he himself also spoke on that too. And anyways, it was just shit like that. And so
basically all the harmful things that cancel culture is attacking is like all of that was free reign in his time, essentially, is what you're saying, right?
yeah, and so his opinion on cancel culture was that it's overdue, man. You know, it should have been done a long time ago. And it's only been publicized maybe for what, 10 years at most?
Yeah, so his position is like this is a good thing, you know. It's like it's causing a progression in the world.
He definitely said it was a good thing, like not word by word, but like the things he said, yeah, the things he said, yeah.
I guess that's what I'm getting out of it. But I mean, yeah, there is, I guess, a good thing. You know, obviously you don't want people to, you know, like to be harmful, I guess, in any manner. And so, and especially, you know, the worst of manners when it comes to cancel culture. So it's like, it's reasonable, obviously, in that sense. I would personally, I mean, I don't know, I'd never be part of the mob, you know, but just because it's like, I guess I wouldn't know. I mean, who knows, right? I might be part of that mob soon, right?
Yeah, bro, okay, shit. You just don't right now, bro.
Yeah. No,
so
but,
like,
nah. So, well, I think it's well, Miguel, you mentioned many times on this podcast like fuck cancel culture, but we never really get into it.
Like
but you're very anti cancel culture though, and I guess I mean, what is the bad you
It's
see in
because
it?
I'm more susceptible to saying shit that can get me canceled because I like to speak more. I feel like all people that like to speak their mind are more susceptible to getting canceled. You know what I mean? I feel like most people don't speak their minds.
I get what you're saying. I do think a lot of people maybe shy away from speaking
Not that
their
it's a
truth.
bad thing, you know? I'm not saying that.
I think this goes a little bit outside of cancel culture because it starts off at a mutual
It's almost
like
like having a filter.
follower to follower interaction. It starts off there because because like you have this idea and it's like okay, some people might not like this idea and they like I might get scolded for this really fast, you know, and like maybe by people I care about, you know. But the thing is like oftentimes when people bring up these ideas that maybe that and it's a thin line maybe, but maybe it's sometimes it's not sometimes, but it's sometimes really just something innovative, but it's you should definitely try to speak these things because it's almost like if there's no voice for that, if there's no voice for that right now, people are gonna be attracted to that quick because that is if this is something that people are attracted to, right? Or this idea that you bring up, right? Yeah, I think that's just on, I guess, the idea of speaking your ideas because yeah, but you know, but I think cancel culture has really or I guess maybe has introduced this idea or not introduced but has maybe reinforced the idea of battling your conflict in yourself, I guess, you know.
Yeah, I'm all for freedom of speech, and I think about it often. Like being very agreeable has led me to certain places, and not being accepted with people. But because Miguel said he was more susceptible to being canceled culture, he was more susceptible to being canceled. I mean, and I because a guy who comes up is a guy named Sneeko, and I just watched like a couple videos with him
Very
today.
controversial right now, yeah.
Yeah, very controversial, but I really do like. I actually like him because he just like talks his shit, but really he's just trying to
You gonna get some saying that? Nah, but you'll get some flack.
I don't mind.
That's for sure.
What's it called?
I get where you're coming from.
And like people like Kanye West or before Miguel gets on me because like all we talk about is Kanye West, Heber and I.
Yeah.
And but the thing is, they're very big on just really following yourself, and because not everyone's gonna agree with you. And I notice how I'm just very into people just like
Yeah.
what the
Yeah,
like,
because
what's like, talking shit
because
like
once you look into the comments of these when somebody's getting canceled, it's like you shouldn't be supporting this person, right? But and so I was and so it's like say Kanye West, you know, has Kanye? I don't know. I'm like, has he gotten canceled?
Kanye was canceled before cancel culture.
Oh
Man.
yeah. Right. So yeah, so like Kanye got canceled, but you can still fuck with him because it's like and like oh I remember yeah, people were mentioning this. It's like Michael Jackson, you know, amazing music, but like you know people were saying like he's like low key. I don't know, right? But this is obviously just this is an example, right, man? But all right, whatever, man.
I love
Michael Jackson is still believed
So
to
it's
be
like-
alive by some people.
Right? Imagine. I don't fucking know, dude. I don't care.
That's what
I know.
completely dropped
I know the tiny. I heard this on a podcast, but I know the tiniest amount about Michael Jackson.
But what's it called? In his podcast with I was watching the Joe Rogan Experience with
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, it's one of the most biggest. You know?
All right.
Yeah,
Wow.
Gabo, I forgot his last name, but he really talks about when raising a child in child development, just raising a child in child development,
No idea how to do that.
raising a person or just really listening to a person, they should just be listened to and just allowed to just completely be themselves and say whatever, just really be who they are. And
Dude, I was like, dude, my Wi-Fi cut out. That's crazy.
no, I just
Oh,
like,
you know, I guess something that I guess that I've been seeing is like with the what's it called? Oh God, why can't I say the name? It's the comics, right? the like some like new like probably new stand-up comedians that are coming in. They're probably like, huh?
Louis C.K.
I don't know, but they're probably like a little scared of that shit, right? And so the way I've heard it described by one comedian is like, you gotta, if you're gonna make a dark joke, it's gotta be so funny that it makes the person forget that it's so fucked up, you know. And that's the only way you're gonna get away with it. And so it's like a thin line, you know. It's like
I got one. You ready for this? I imagine.
what's up? Like, I'm like, what's up, bro? You good? You
No, because like my favorite.
like stand up.
comedian- Alright,
Yes,
son.
man.
Imagine.
Doing stand-up
No.
comedy, bet.
Oh no, hold up.
Like, oh, yeah.
Shit, I do gotta go use the party anyways. You know what I'm saying?
Bro. No, you
Can't spell
don't.
party without potty. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Be
no,
right
no.
back.
I'm my favorite comedian.
Sorry, I'm
want-
sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
This guy don't give a fuck, dude. But to be honest though, I haven't like seen anybody gotten canceled in like the past year or some shit. Like, yeah, honestly.
Yeah, cancel culture
It's
is
like
really
it died, bro, because it stopped working. Ah. Dude, honestly, I feel like the last canceled people I saw, like in it, like they didn't give a fuck, bro. I guess. I,
you just gotta keep going because
yeah,
it's not really
because
hold
right,
hold
absolutely.
one person
You grow.
moment for
Yeah,
all.
100%. You
And-
these people
and it makes
grow.
Yeah, it makes me think about like forgiveness, and
Yeah, right.
it comes back to Don Miguel Ruiz Jr. and he was saying, and some other shit I've listened to, and it makes me think about how I interpreted people for a long time, how I will hold people back on these past, and I wouldn't really live in the moment with them because I have this idea of them in the past
Yeah.
rather than really being with them and seeing them
Mhm.
for right now.
Yeah.
And you're like, I like how you sorry. Oh, I gotta get it, bro. Hold on, I wrote it down. But he basically said like you had to really be there for the person and see what they're going at. Oh, and see people as just human. He didn't say that, but I just came to mind. You just see people as really human because if I can bring my own like mom and like people like my mom, my brother, and my dad, and I can hold them to the past of what my life has been with them. But if I don't acknowledge them as like they as he said, my peers, as them they are themselves,
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss it. I'm gonna miss them growing. Like they have their own trials and tribulations, and if you really because like I notice how much my relationship with my mom has improved once I just really stopped holding my mom towards like things that like don't even really matter anymore. Then yeah, it didn't matter past, but I can't keep holding someone to a moment because that's very unrealistic how people work. And it's only expecting the good side of the people rather than seeing the person as we fuck up. And he said, "Forgive us, Father. We only do what we do, cause like
Yeah.
we only do what we do. We never really know."
Yeah,
And
I
if
think
you-
yeah, I think relating that to like what we see on social media is like, say a person is like still hateful, right? For this for whatever action, right? Then it's like it's to understand that this person doesn't know any better, right? Like the four agreements, I guess. Like this person like is in a state that they don't know any better, and I think you can attach this to a lot of different posts on social media because like dude, the people that are that are feeding this wave, I guess like the kids most of the time, they don't know any better. Like they're not thinking rationally. These aren't rationally or maybe not rational is not the right word, but what's it called? Definitely
they don't have the experience.
right. But also
They
it's
haven't lived.
sometimes some posts aren't thoughtful. There's sometimes people don't write thoughtful posts, you know.
Yeah.
And even adults, right? They don't like sometimes it's just a quick fire back, whatever, or like a quick thought that you had on like that of your opinion on some shit, but you didn't actually think it all the way. It's not a thoughtful tweet, I guess.
Yeah.
And so people attack it. People attack your fucking shit so quick because they're aggravated. They're like, oh, you didn't think this through, you know. But and so it's really about realizing if a tweet is not thoughtful and just leaving it. You don't give that attention, you know.
Yeah, because sometimes I see hateful things.
Because some
I
of my
see
friends have had like very big problems with that, you know.
yeah. I remember just all through all through school, dog. When people just bad
I'm
mouthing
sorry
each
about that
other.
bitch, but I'm mad about that.
Like you like my girl right now. Like I can took that personally that he just came in walking through talking.
Oh
But
yeah.
really he didn't know any better,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It's like yeah, he didn't know. Like that's literally it. He didn't know anybody.
I
Like
don't take it personal, fam. Like dead ass. Like it wasn't about you, fam. I just didn't know.
Yeah.
it's a little fucked up that like he knows in the after effect though, you know, and then he doesn't try to change it
Yeah.
because he keep that's what's fucking
That's
That is pretty
not
fucked
bro.
up if that were the case, but that's not the
That's
case.
not respecting. That's crossing my boundaries.
If that was me, that would be fucked up. But
It's
thank
like
God it's not me because I actually have.
it's like when you fuck up and you like you keep or like when you fail at the thing and then it's like it's if you keep failing you're never gonna be on this habit of being good at it, you know. It's like
Well, the thing is, not all people that fuck up want to fuck up, Heber.
right. Yeah, not all addicts want to stop smoking. Like right, you know what I'm saying? Like no, genuinely, there are addicts that badly want to not be on the substance, but there are also addicts that are like, I'm just on this wave right now, man. I'm not really thinking too much of it. I just know I want to be here right now, you know, and like
They never really
yeah,
contemplate that.
maybe they haven't gotten there yet, you know, and that's that, you know, and that's fine, you know. I think you should just, you know, be respectful of that, you know, because it's
I
like
just
they're not
had
there
some
yet.
expired coconut water, bro. I'm
Dude,
pissed.
I don't know why I thought you were gonna say expired vape. Like, like man, what?
Shit made
But
me spit it out. At least most
I
of it.
feel that what was I gonna say? Fuck.
Kind of drank some of it. Shit was disgusting.
Because I wanna correlate this to something that was brought up in the podcast
What are we
and
bringing?
how
Which one?
Which one?
about this guy I've been talking about all podcast. I feel like the title of this should just be Don Miguel Reese Jr. Because our
Tell him,
podcast
nah.
it was so good. Everything he said was so good. But he was talking about respect.
Mm.
And how you should have respect because the interviewer asked him, "How can we respect people who do like evil things? And how can we have love for the people that like say do like horrible crimes in the world, like kill people or like?" And he talked about like he talked about like how he respects everyone, and to see that humans are just human and we can go both ways and use the extreme examples of like two different polar opposites of Gandhi and Hitler because they existed at the same time. And it's like I never thought about that, but like those two people existed at the same time, but they can basically invert from each other. Like they're the same person. Like they can become each other, and it's like trying to. Why am I fucking going to this? I'm trying to correlate this to what we talked about, but I'm just talking right now. Oh, cancel culture. Trying to see where they're coming from. You know, like that you can
Oh
do
yeah,
that mistake too. You can do that mistake too, and
yeah,
or
absolutely.
you can do that
You can be
mistake.
in that
You
same
can make that
position.
mistake too. Like imagine that. I just
Yeah,
see something.
and it's like, how do you think that person can grow from that? You know, because one thing I wanted to mention earlier, like I mentioned this on the podcast before, but it's like Jordan Peterson talked about on the Lex Friedman podcast how he talked to like numerous people who have been canceled, and like they each one of them said that it was the worst experience of their life, and that was so crazy to me because I was like, wow, you know, these people's lives were like, I guess I haven't seen too many after stories of cancer, but yeah, so
If no one accepts you, then you're just gonna fucking like imagine
it's
no one
scary, yeah.
accepting you because of what you did in this moment.
Yeah.
and say, like you changed, and you just say, and then no one's
Thank God.
accepting because they're holding you on that moment. It's really fucked up.
It's like when people told me that I changed, all I can say is shit. I hope. No, that's the lyric of this one rapper, bro.
Because
Real
do you
talk
think
though.
you can like put yourself in like I guess a position like that? I don't know. Like a craze. I don't know, man.
I mean,
Right. I
We
mean, you
can,
could try.
yeah.
I mean, we
we
could
can
try
do
our
it.
best.
We
Huh?
can
Part
do
of growing up
it.
is like you're not gonna stick with the same people for the rest of your life. That'd be fucking like unhealthy
I
as
don't
fuck. You know what I
think.
mean?
I don't know where you got
And
that
so it's
idea
like
from.
sometimes
I don't know where you got that
you
idea from at all.
you,
I
you
don't know where you
lose.
pulled that idea from at
Well, let
all.
me just talk. We're talking about growth, right?
Sure.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Cancel culture.
Certain people that aren't good for you, you know, they gotta go.
Oh, dude, but this is.
But what are you talking about?
Miguel's taking the point of view of the people who are friends with the person who got canceled and they gotta cut him off. He's like, yeah, but we gotta leave that guy. He got canceled. Like, dude,
That's not true.
dude, you're taking that point of view. I'm asking, like, nah, like, try to empathize with the person that got canceled real quick, though.
Yeah, bro. I feel like in that position, if I say for example, if I ever got canceled,
Oh,
because
I get you. I get you.
I'm thinking right, like if I ever got canceled,
We wouldn't be homies. Imagine.
I'm just thinking like
Yeah, it would just be Heber and I. You know what I mean? On the cast.
it would be like, oh shit, well this didn't work out. I guess I gotta stick with the plan W. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let's think on a like realistic, because when people let's think on a realistic term.
But
Canceled.
what does it mean to be canceled?
Well, there's different situations, right? Let's use this example, this hypothetical, right? You lose all your plans, homie. Your plan W, it ain't like you gotta like. I mean, maybe not. Maybe that's drastic. I don't know, man. Look, let's not think of an example anymore. I don't even know if I want to keep talking about this. That's a cool leg though. Oh, you did that just now.
Uh,
Like
I forget. People have fetishes, huh?
no, it's not even that. It's just uncourteous, bro. I don't want to see your ugly ass fucking foot, bro. Damn. Like that's kind of cool, you know. You ain't got nothing
That's
special.
That's more pornographic than my shit, bro.
Man, fuck you, man. Yeah, don't say that word. Don't YouTube.
That could lucky be a chick's body right there, and some folks will believe it.
okay, dog.
Okay.
You crossed my
And what,
boundary.
bro?
But don't take it
You
personal.
crossing so many
You're
boundaries.
chingados,
I'm a
bro.
little bitch.
But yeah.
Not saying you got a woman's body. It's just some folks be believing anything nowadays.
I'm like, sorry, my ass fat looking.
Nah, bro. you poke it out, imagine. Oh, fire. It's
That's funny, bro. See, I knew y'all had it in y'all looking
bro,
at
this
it.
guy.
I'm just fucking with you. Man, we having a good time with them, so then we all.
So we're not even
Shit.
drinking.
It don't matter. Y'all having a
You're
good
not
time or not?
drinking, girl.
Huh?
I can't believe we're having this much fun without alcohol. Imagine.
Shit. according to I don't watch the guy personally, but his shorts are funny, bro.
Oh, you
Fucking
don't
Andrew
watch him?
Tate.
Oh my god, fuck this
He
guy.
be saying
man.
like there is no such thing as having fun without alcohol, and like he makes some
Man,
valid points. Look
dude,
at that.
I don't
stuff.
want to hear you ever talk about that guy again, bro. He's off the internet.
Anyways,
That guy got
man,
ran off the internet.
I appreciate y'all for tuning in tonight.
Lame as fuck.
You know, for sticking with us for this long. If you're still listening, and for those who are new, appreciate y'all for tuning in.
Make sure
If
to
y'all like what
subscribe.
y'all listen, you know what to do. I ain't gotta say it. Y'all smart
No.
enough. Y'all done it before. I hope.
No, please hit
That's
the like
support,
button,
baby.
please.
Oh, and for those that don't, seriously.
Leave a like, subscribe, you know.
Yeah, we'll spell it out for you in the fucking description if we need to.
Oh, dude, we should do that. Nah.
Well, anyways, just check out our Instagram. Anyways, with that being said, it's your boy Lil Scopic, aka just kill aka shit. Let me just start over on that, okay? Because like it's
Fuck you,
it's
bro.
been a
I
pretty
think
long day.
your shit's so long that it's ugly, man.
It's different and it's gonna stay like that.
And from
It's your boy Lil
that,
Scopic,
think-
aka
do you
Jaquil,
think-
aka Miguel. It's been your host today.
You think you'll keep that forever for real? Because I feel like
There's only one way to find out. Let's live forever. Shit.
But I feel like we gotta listen to the history of humankind and that we die. So
So let me roll
that's
up another blunt.
heavy. You know, that's that's heavy, bro. The history of you know, that's interesting. I heard a.
Shit, let me roll up another blunt.
Jhordy,
Nice.
Huh?
Heber, Miguel,
Yeah.
we all, that's been Sumtales.